What's going on, y'all? It's your boy CNI back with episode 10 of the Rap Upz Podcast. I am here, as always, joined by the Peruvian plug.
¿Qué pasó?
What's cracking? What's happening?
What it do, bro?
Crazy, very sad week. The loss of Nipsey Hussle, for those that are in the dark, is what we're referring to. Was gunned down in front of the Marathon clothing store on Crenshaw and Slauson.
Correct.
Very, very distraught I was Sunday evening when I got the news. Obviously, there have been a lot of things in the media lately that he's been doing. You know, he had the interview with Lauren London on GQ, and I guess he's going to be on the cover of it. Or maybe he already is, I don't know. And then, of course, you know, the Racks in the Middle video with Roddy Ricch, which was dope. Fantastic record. So, you know, when I heard the news, honestly, I could not sleep a wink Sunday night. It was just like, it hit real close to home because it's like...
I was in shock.
Yeah, so was I. Total disbelief. And, you know, as an independent hip-hop artist, you really root for the guys that are out there that have done it that way, that have achieved massive success. And, man, shout out to his entire family and loved ones that are feeling the loss. His kids, man. I mean, that to me, like, that is like what really was probably the most devastating. Was just like, you know, we're both fathers, so you know we both have children, and to think about like them growing up without us, without our presence, without our guidance, you know, it's like
it really makes you put your mortality in, you know, perspective.
And yeah,
you could be gone like that.
Yeah,
he was only there for a chance, you know, like just on the fly.
Just to get his homeboy who was getting out of jail some nice clothes so he could be presentable for his friends and family.
And he was without his security details, so, right. You know, he's going to his own store where he grew up.
Right,
so
where he'd been a billion times before.
Literally like his backyard.
Yeah.
You know, probably somewhere he felt very, very safe, obviously.
Definitely. And you know, in your own neighborhood where you've grown up, where you've been a million times, you don't feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? You know everybody.
Right.
And you know, in the event of that chance meeting with Eric Holder, all the eyewitnesses accounts say, you know, it was just a normal conversation. You know, nobody got hyped, nobody got mad, nobody got upset. And when he walked away, he shook his hand. You know, like, oh, it's all good. Shook his hand and bounced. You know, and Nip didn't realize that, by putting that dude on blast about him cooperating with the police in front of all the people that were present, he felt extremely disrespected to the point to where he was like, I don't care if I do life. I'm going to come back and take his life. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Just to think about that, it's like, you know, because sometimes like you run into dudes that do fuck shit, and you want to let them know. You're like, yo, I heard about what you did. That's some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you've known him for some years, you know?
Right.
But you don't know what that motherfucker could be thinking, what he could do next. You know what I'm saying?
It's just tragic.
Very sad. So, you know, I saw a lot of the vigils that took place. Obviously, the one there at the Marathon clothing store, and then Dave East did one in New York, and
Mr. Fab in Oakland.
And Mr. Fab did one in Oakland, and you went to that, right?
Correct.
And what was that like?
It was a pretty nice turnout. I mean, there was a lot of people there to support, light a candle. There was a lot of blue, you know, a lot of blue everywhere. he was, allegedly in the rolling 60s.
Right.
There was a lot of people, and, Mr. Fab came out, and they let go of some balloons.
With like they spelled out Nipsey or
just like a gang of blue balloons.
Okay.
There was blue candles everywhere. People were slapping his music.
And Lil Daryl was there?
Little Daryl was there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. It speaks to the impact that he really had, And you and I were talking off mic before we started about the loss that hip hop feels when rappers are violently killed, but I think like with a Nipsey Hussle is like a major loss. Like it's like, one of the top 5 violent losses to hip hop all time. I think is you know what I'm saying? It's not a stretch to say that.
Well, that's how, rappers are dying by the gun.
Right.
Ain't no other way.
Right. And unfortunately, in all of these situations, we see a lapse in security. It's just they were too relaxed. They were like, oh, well, this is my hometown, so I'm not really tripping. But it's like Boosie said, most rappers get killed in their own hometown. And I think that that's a fact. I don't think that that's disputed, And so you just have to be extremely careful. Unfortunately, when you make a tremendous amount of money in this particular form of art, I saw a E40 interview that he did on KTVU about this, where he was talking about how he was he was like the first rapper in the Bay Area to have armed security with him everywhere that he went, and he was saying like other rappers would like make fun of him, and then people started losing their life, and now they have armed security. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you get caught with a gun case or whatever, and you're not allowed to carry a weapon anymore. You have to have a way to defend yourself without putting yourself in at risk by continuing to maybe catch a case by carrying a gun again. It's like at some point you just have to, if you're making enough money, you just kind of have to factor it into one of your monthly bills. Like, okay, you know what? I care about my life because I'm taking care of a tremendous amount of people. Let me make sure that I make it home safe, and everywhere that I'm gonna go, I make it to and from, in one piece. You know what I'm saying? So fucking Chris Darden, the prosecutor of the OJ trial, is defending Eric Holder. How crazy is that?
That blows my mind.
Meek Mill called him a sellout, a house nigga. That's what he called him. It's
he's been getting called that since the OJ.
That's nothing new, right? It's an odd choice. I think like as an attorney, you want to take high profile cases so that you can like stay in the public eye. But some of them, I think maybe you should turn down and just be like, you know what? This is gonna make me infamous and not have the notoriety that I'm actually looking for. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Very dicey decision. I mean, can you imagine if he gets him off of murder?
I can't imagine that happening, but you couldn't put it past, 12 people.
You never know. The video could be a little grainy, maybe not show enough definition to prove that that's him.
Of course it doesn't show enough. All you see is a figure.
Right.
You can't see you don't know who the fuck that is.
You have no idea.
There's no way in fucking hell they can even tell you how tall that person was or anything.
Unless there's eyewitnesses, which I'm sure there would have to be.
There has to be videos that show him definitively, like that it's him.
And there must be. I'm sure they probably just haven't gotten released to the public for us to see. Like there's got to be like an ATM video nearby or somebody's individual store camera that caught it. Somebody has the footage that shows in greater detail. When you think about this Kodak shit.
Wow. This guy's a knucklehead.
Kodak stay trolling.
I don't know what his deal is.
I think it's to just stay in the attention and the limelight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, clearly, he's trying to, stay relevant.
But he said that he was gonna give Lauren London a year to cry and shit, and then he's gonna get at her.
He's a dog for that.
Now, a nigga get killed, and it's like old news in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not like the same constant amount of attention. Like the media will milk it until they start to see that the views are going down, and then they'll just be like, all right, on to the next shit. People have lost interest in this story. Soulja Boy returns with a Tiger diss on the Tatiana record.
He's funny.
He's hilarious. He's gonna have to figure out a way to like pivot into something where he can do like a podcast or something. It's gonna have to be something else because he just doesn't have the skill set musically to be like relevant in today's musical climate. You know what I'm saying? Action Bronson. You heard about this shit?
Nah, what's going on with Action?
So this nigga went to a podcast and they were questioning him about Ghostface Killah. It just happened to come up in the conversation, and like he flashed on the guy. And then he was like, I wish I could pick you up and slam you through a wall right now. Like some crazy WWE reference that just came out of left field. And it's like, you sound like fucking Ghostface Killah. It's not a surprise.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he's not shocked by that.
He was, though. That was what was so surprising to me. It's like, dude, you get this all the time. Like, I could see if like you just stopped rapping and you just like made like a fucking food network show or whatever, because like that's basically what he's known for. I don't know of any of his songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't say I'm too up on that.
Yeah, he just needs to stay relevant doing like what he does on the, what is it? Fuck That's Delicious or whatever. Just do that and make it bigger. Do it even bigger. You know what I'm saying? But don't get mad if people say you sound like Ghostface when you sound like Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? Logic has a #1 bestseller on the New York Times list.
Seems like anybody could just have a New York bestseller.
It does kind of seem like that.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what? Nobody's fucking...
I bet you if Cardi B...
anybody and just write a book and you fucking... If it's got a little bit of fucking,
if you're somebody, if you're like
just a little knowledgeable, a little savvy, well written, you got a #1 bestseller.
I bet you if Cardi B dropped a book, it wouldn't even have to be well written, and it would go #1 just because it's Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook scored, was it 21 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists
For Nipsey.
for Nip.
I saw that. That was pretty dope.
That's sick.
First player since like Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain was the last player that did it. When I heard about it, I was like, I don't get it. And then it dawned on me, it was like, oh, rolling 60s. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I was like, that's dope. Because it didn't make sense. It was like, why did he only score 20 points? Like, he probably could have scored a lot more. But then as soon as I got the math of it, I was like, that is fucking sick. So major shout outs to Russell Westbrook for that one. Much love, homie. That was some dope shit. Yeah, I just wanted to like end this on like a positive note because it really has been like a fucking draining week.
It's been a draining week for sure.
Like my son broke his arm. He had to get surgery.
Damn.
He broke his arm last week, and then we had to go to Children's Hospital in Oakland, and he had to get pins. They had to re-break it, like right above the elbow.
Damn.
Put pins in it. And so like all that shit plus the Nipsey shit, it was just like, I just don't want to fucking talk or deal with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just that kind of week. So it's just good to like be able to fucking laugh at some shit and just kind of be like, you know what? It was a dark one.
Exhale, yeah.
but I can see the light now. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that that's true for everybody else out there. You know, it was a dark week this week, but we made it through. Take a deep breath. Everybody breathe in, just out through the mouth.
Right, let it out.
Let it out.
All the angst, all the worrying.
We got Nipsey's funeral coming up. They're going to announce the arrangements on Monday. So, you know, stay tuned to your favorite news station and find out when that is. And if you're in the LA area and you got time, man, go show love one time. You know what I'm saying? But let's celebrate Nip. One of the things that I heard talked about was that, like, you know, should we continue to give back to the neighborhoods where we're from if violent things can happen to us as individuals? And I don't think you should ever stop. Let's pick up where Nip left off, and let's continue to do the good work that he was doing in his neighborhood, in his community, because people are always going to need help. And you got to think about all the people that he reached, all the people that really loved him, that he made a real difference. You know, for Nip to done what he done good. And he spent his time here on earth wisely. And you know what? We all got to go someday. So live your best life. And don't let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do with your life, with your time, with your energy. Go out there and be the best you that you could be.
Oh, yeah, man. Life's too short.
Definitely.
You got to get it.
So I think we're going to end it there on that note. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. If this is your first time here at Rap Upz, you need to subscribe so that you can stay tuned to all the future updates and all the future good shit we got coming up. I got my new album coming out very, very soon. You guys are going to love it, I promise. Stay tuned for all the goodness coming your way. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to see you guys next week. I know we took a couple weeks off, but again, lots of shit popped up. So we're back.
We'll be back on the grind.
CNI, the Peruvian Plug. See y'all next time.
Be good.
Only on Rap Upz.
Peace.
Yeah.